Today we are going to move on to lesson 9.3. By the end of this lesson, we are going to be able to say we can split an image or a group of items in half, making sure each part is equal. We're going to begin by reading Half or Whole by Susan Markowitz Meredith. Two halves make a whole. That's a good start. Are these half sandwiches or are they whole ones? The sandwiches are whole. See the shapes of the buns? Cut them all in two parts. Both are the same size. Each part is 1/2. No surprise. 1/2 plus 1/2 equals 1. Are these fruits whole or do you see a half there? These fruits are whole, a banana, apple, and pear. Cut them all in two parts. Both are the same size. Each part is 1/2. No surprise. 1/2 plus 1/2 equals 1. Half or whole, what do you see? So let's take a look at this circle. It shows us one whole. I could write it as the number 1, or I could write it as a fraction, 1/1. That means the circle is made out of one part, and I am talking about one part. I could also split this circle into two equal parts. When an object or a collection is split into two equal parts, we call each of those parts halves. How many halves is this circle split into? 2. 2 halves make one whole. How many halves are shaded in? How could I write this as a fraction? There's one part shaded in and one part not shaded in. So let's think about how we can make this a fraction. We learned yesterday that we put the number of parts that we have on the bottom and the number of parts we are talking about on the top. So that means I have one part shaded in and two parts all together. How can we split this circle into two parts in a different way? So instead of going up and down, how can we do this? Here's what you're going to need to do during this lesson. You will click on the line and click to add a line. Now I'm going to put the cursor where I want to draw a line, and I will click and drag to draw a line. So that's how we already had the circle split into two parts. How could I do that a different way? I could do it like this. Oops. I could do it like this and have my circle split into two parts on top and bottom. Now my fraction would be 2 parts out of 2 parts because I don't have either one shaded right now. I'm talking about both parts. So I can also split a square into halves. Each side of the line shows 1/2 of the square. So I have 2 parts not shaded in and 2 parts all together. How can we split this square into 2 parts in a different way? So again, we'll insert a line, and I'm going to split the squares into 2 parts in a different way. We have 2 parts, and we have 2 parts all together and 2 parts not shaded in. So our fraction is 2 out of 2. So as long as my shape is split into 2 equal shares, it doesn't matter what shape I use to show halves. How can we split the shape into halves? You're going to insert a line to split the shape into halves and then type the fraction. You'll do that for each one of these shapes. So split the shape into halves, and then we can type in the fraction. This is just a review chart of what we've been learning about, and then you will complete your independent practice. So at the top, you're going to split the shape into halves, color in the correct number of spots, and then down here at the bottom, you're going to cut and glue the shapes into the right spot, either 1/2 or 1 whole. Then it's time for a brain break. Go ahead and get started.